Generic greetings and welcome back to Prison Architect. I didn't think there was going to be that much of an uptake for this series, but, I was wrong. A lot of people are really happy to see this thing back, which is great, fine, and just dandy. So, we planned out the prison in the previous episode. As you can see, it is pretty much symmetrical, although that wasn't my original intention. It just turned out that way, and we have, in no particular order, a little entranceway here with some sort of airlocky type thing where you got double gate and a metal detector. Then obviously you've got your reception where you can search the prisoners. You got a little bit up here which is for visitation. We got a area where we don't really have an idea what this is going to be. We said it could be some sort of common room, but you know what? There's a lot of buildings like this one, these here, that really are, and these ones here, that essentially are just generic spaces for us to put whatever building in that we actually want. The ones that actually have a specific reason for existence is this one in the center, which is a canteen. Kitchen over on the right hand side of that, obviously storage because we've already placed it, and then the top and bottom, which are the cell blocks, and to the left and right of both of those we have our showers as well. We've also got some other prisoner holding facilities here, which we've got a holding cell, a solitary area, a security room, and then some protective custody, followed by our psychologist, morgue, and infirmary. So we shall crack on. We're going to go to reports, over to grants, and then we're going to get our basic detention centre and then administration centre. There we are. Excuse me. There is nothing to change here. Most people's comments were just something along the lines of, "Oh my god, Prison Architect's back, yay!" On other such things. No real feedback in terms of how to design it or any changes to be made. Things that are just happy to see this, so that's just great. So what we're going to do is crack on and build this. Ooh, well, we need to build several buildings, but I think what we'll do is we'll go for the administration centre first, and we'll build it by doing something like this. Hang on, how are we going to do this? Probably, you know what, this, and then that, and then that. It's probably the way to go. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so that's a fairly big bit of foundation place, but that is our storage, power block, entranceway, as well as the entire staff area down there. So that's fine. Speed up to max speed and let the people crack on. Oh, that's a nice beverage. That's a lemon honey drink, because I've got a bit of a bad throat, which is why I might be coughing now again. I do apologise. But, yeah. It's nice and soothing. So, workmen are coming along and placing all of these things here. Just a couple of things of note. I mentioned, obviously, that this is the update 11, and it adds in, well, we can't see it at the moment, but if you go to needs, on the right-hand side here, we will have a button that says staff needs, okay? Now, I assume that staff needs are always on, if you turn it on the map, which obviously we have done. But I assume it's always on, you just can't see it if you don't have a psychologist. Now, that's okay, but a couple of people have asked, like, why do the workers have psychology needs? Do they have needs, things like that? No, they don't. So the only people that have needs are your guards. Okay, so your workers are still the ever building, constantly working drones that they always were. They will never tire. They will never stop. They will continue going and going and going. So that's their task in life. That's the whole reason for their existence. However, guards and essentially any guard, any sniper, anyone that could be armed, anything that you would have to, anyone that sort of interacts with prisoners has needs. I don't think the kitchen staff had needs, so it's just guards, armed guards, dogs, and snipers, I believe, that have the needs. Also, people have asked, they've said that they've tried to play this with the needs and they can't get it. That's because it's actually on the beta branch. If you read the, hang on, where do you want to put the entranceway for this? I don't know. Yeah, if you read the release, it shows you what you need to do. Essentially, you need to activate the beta branch on Steam. So what I'm going to do, place some walls around here. And this will be offices and some such. Trying to make sure I don't spend too much. Now, we could have an entranceway here for the storage, but I don't think it really matters. I like it opposite there. It seems to make a bit of sense. So we're going to put a staff door there, staff door there, staff door there, there, and there. Okay, so we'll go to utilities, over to water pump, shove a water pump in, then power generator, and then a capacitor there. And the reason it's going to go there is because then hopefully it will connect up to that bit there. But actually, to be fair, we have more. We're gonna have to place more capacitors anyway. Obviously, we haven't got hot water and we haven't got hot water and we haven't got any weather. That's because it's still. I like it. I enjoy it, but I just don't think it's there. I think it's the way the radiators work is annoying. The only way to really fix it is to use electric radiators, which I think is pretty much. It's not a must. It's not a must get mod, but it's close to. It's close to. I find it very. I wouldn't say difficult, but I find it very annoying to play the game without that mod. Anyway, what we're going to do here is place a couple of things around this reception. So we want things like tables either side. We want, well, we do need a chair. Office desk, yes. Indoors, yes. Table, yes. Chair, no. We haven't got a chair. I'm not going to put it behind there because it'll be probably too... There would not going to be as much room. We'll just put the chairs there either side. So there's our reception. So as they come in, they get searched. Fantastic. So basic detention centre, administration centre. 2 officers, warden, finance and accountant. So quite easy. We're going to go to rooms and then over to office. And then we'll designate all that as office. Well, obviously we want to cancel that bit up there. Designate that as office. And then we'll go over to objects and then to staff door. Staff door will go on either side there. And then we'll put in a office desk like so. And like that. And then we want a chair at each of the desks. And then finally, 1 filing cabinet, which I'll put up there because then we can see them because they look pretty good. Right, sorted. And this is the warden, so he gets a big pile of them. Okay, obviously we need to go to utilities, electrical cable. We're going to run electrical cable down, along, down. We'll run it to there actually, because we'll have a metal detector there, then we'll run it straight down like that and into there because that should hopefully power all the rooms up, but we'll see. Right, sorted. And because those aren't connected, we might as well go to metal detectors, spend a couple of grand on that because I always forget them at the front. I always forget them, so place them in now. We know we're sorted. In terms of the idea of building this, like the flooring and such like that, well, what I'm probably going to do is build all of the buildings first and get all the grants done, and then we'll put the flooring in. It's essentially what I forced myself to stop doing for a long time, but I am going to go back to that for this episode, or for this series rather, this mini-series, because I want to get things built rather quickly. So we've got 2 officers. In fact, what I'm going to do is we'll do a bit of a gamble, right? So I'm going to place a warden, and what he does is he assigns himself to an office. Now, obviously, we want him in here, and the way to do that is to only have 1 office, but do you think he'll go there? There's a 50-50 chance, and yeah, he's went to the wrong office, you fathead. There we go, unpause it, and there you finally gets a proper office, and we'll get that. Okay, so over to our bureaucracy, and we want to research a bit of, actually, what was it? Was it finance? I believe it was finance. Yes, finance. And then you hire an accountant, and then you're over there. Excellent. Okay, so as you can see, basic detention centre, we've got holding shell from Mr. James Bond. We've got a shower, we've got holding cell, we've got yards, yes, we've got kitchens. Actually, it doesn't say we've got yards, but we've got 3 of them. The reason it's saying it's not legit is because you need a wall all the way around it. Now, I could do that. I could actually go to materials and brick wall and build a wall all the way around the prison. There's no problem doing that. Now, obviously, I'm spending this money. It's going to be spent anyway at some point. Oh, God, it's actually a lot of money. It's going to be about 10 grand just to build this entire section, but whatever. At least it's actually securing the building, which is pretty vital when it comes to building a prison. So anyway, someone did say that this isn't in the middle. Hang on, let me check. It is 4 and 5. Yes, they are correct. This is not in the centre. Interesting. 5 and 5. So it's just this bit here, is it? 2 and 2. What? Why is that wrong? 5 and then 4. Okay, that's an interesting one. Ah, I know why. It's because this is in the centre, but technically, because of the way it works, yeah, it's not. Yeah, because this is a double. The actual centre is that, because it's not an odd number. So yeah, that's why this is a little bit shorter, but the building is the right size. So we've got a bit of research completerated, so we can go to here and get ourselves an accountant, and bosh, there we go, we've got another grant done, or at least our first grant done. Over to grants again, we'll go for, do you want short-term investment or long-term investment? I think we'll go for health and well-being, because that's generally the way I go with that one. We'll go over to bureaucracy, and we will research extra grant for 500, because it is quite easy. We'll go over to foundations, building brick, and then we will put in a building right back here, and we'll do it like so. Okay, and then we'll obviously have to put some sort of entranceway on it, which we'll put like that, and then a door there, because we'll get to that at some point. Right, hopefully that'll rotate around, because I forgot to do it. This, guys, do you want to, I don't know what you're doing, and I'll be honest, if it's on your own time, I don't mind what you do, but you are supposed to be working, guys. There we go. It looks like workmen don't go through each other anymore, which is interesting. But they do go through walls, apparently. Oh well. Right, so 25 grand in the kitty. That's okay. We are still researching extra grand. Obviously, we want to research security, psychology, and health. There we are. This building is now done. That door is in the wrong place. We're going to dismantle that. We're going to go to materials, brick, place all of these. Over to objects, staff door, bosh, and it's in. Okay, rooms, office. That's oofis. Oof-is. It's an oofis. There's an office. And infirmary, we haven't got yet. Because, you know, haven't placed it, and researched it, and stuff like that. So, yard is now legit, as you can see. That's because we now have a wall going all the way around the outside, which is good. We do need to put in, I guess, the kitchen. So we'll go to this one, and we'll go kitchen, and we'll designate all of that as a kitchen. There we go. And we will probably put in sinks at the back. And then we will put in, we haven't figured out the entranceway for this thing, so shall we measure it off? So, wall, 14, okay, so we can have 6 and 6. And then some double doors, maybe. And if we had double doors, we could put like a little airlocky type thing. But then, would we want to do that? Probably not. 15. Technically, you want 15. You want 10 to there. And then 5 to there. So actually, 2. And then that's it. That's the entrance. That's the doorway there. That's the doorway. The reason for that is because you can fit a total of 3 serving tables in that row. So that's what we'll be doing. Good. Excellent. Over to utilities, small pipe, run a small pipe down like that, and obviously that connects up the sinks to the water pumping station. In terms of power, we're about getting close to half, probably about a third so far. Another dingling noise there, hopefully that means we have, or we've researched security, but we don't want to buy him just yet. What we want to do is go for psychology and such as well, but we do have another grant now, so we can go over to short-term investment, and we will get that. I think that's important to get early on. We'll speed up to max speed while the crack on with the research, because obviously what we want to do is get this thing up and running. We've got this office that we haven't actually furnished, so we might as well go ahead and do that. So we'll have a office, I think we'll have a desk like so, chair down the bottom. Ooh, that's saying it can't be done. Why can it not be done? Ah, I know why it can't be done. Just go over to our jail door, put a jail door in there, and then it means people can actually get out of this centre bit now. Yes, that's why. Oops. And then we'll go over to chairs, put a chair in front, a filing cabinet next to them. There we go. So, they're trying to do that, but they can't. I'm going to prioritise that, which means this guy will come in and do it, and then the rest of them should actually get access to this. Yes, look at that. They're actually starting to do that as well. Yeah, that's fine now. Okay. Bureaucracy. Psychology is just being approved, so that's fine. Go for staff. Psychologist. And there you go. Requires office. It's still technically not an office, because it hasn't got anything in there yet. Very hard to see when it goes nighttime, but there you go. It's now an office. At least 2 doctors in 1 medical ward. Well, can't do that yet, because as you can see, health is on 26% and increasing. So, yeah, it ain't legit. Over to objects. We're going to put cooker in there. Fridge right behind it. There we go. Obviously, we can have more cookers in here if we need to. I don't think we're going to need to because of the size of this. We're going to go over to materials, brick wall, and we're just going to put in the other buildings / offices, whatever these actually are. Obviously staff door on both of these. And we'll head along the route of the probably go for the staff wellbeing initiative, but only once we've got the inmate health and well-being. So medical ward, 2 doctors is required. We're on 80% for that. What we'll do while waiting, go to room, and we'll go for staff room, and the left will be our staff room, and the right will be a canteen, like so. Now you might be thinking, oh, what's that all about? Well, what happens is when the canteen is designated as staff only, that becomes a staff canteen. Now, obviously, to do that, we will need to get ourselves deployment. Hang on. No, not deployment. Where would it be? Patrols? It might be in that, you know. Where is it? Patrols, intelligence. No, I'm not too sure. Requires deployment. It does require deployment. Okay. Fine. Go over to staff, get ourselves a chief. Obviously, we do want to copy his office. You know what? We'll just go to quick build, clone, and clone that. Easy. And it actually does the office as well. I don't use the clone tool as much as I should. It's a very good tool. So, we should be able to finish this off. So, it should be infirmary. And morgue. And objects. We'll go for medical bed. Just the one for now because they're expensive. Let's say we're just... Oh, God, that's E. We're just granting it up at the moment. And Dr. Orb. And that should be it. And that should be the medical ward done. And indeed, another grant. Because obviously we're just trying to get the monies. So, staff room requires several things. Actually, what we'll do, we'll put a serving table in here first, like so, and then we will put... Oh, there we go, there's the grant done. I will pause it for a moment while I get another grant. Staff Wellbeing Initiative. So build a staff room, have at least 5 guards without assigned duties. Well, that's quite easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No assigned duties for them. Staff room requires drinks machine and a wide sofa, but it actually requires a little bit more than that, because what happens now is that they have needs which we might be able to see. We can see the needs. So staff needs, there you go. So staff needs are not dissimilar from the prisoner needs, but obviously it doesn't make sense them having needs for things like escape or exercise, spirituality, things like that. They have bladders and bowels, like, you know, bladders, bowels, and food. So it's essentially standard human needs. Safety, which I guess you could put that as a human need as well, I guess. Recreation, comfort, an environment, and rest. So the way it works is that you have shifts. So if we go over to... Where is it? I've never actually seen it. It is in... Probably be in regime, wouldn't it? No, it's not in regime. I'm just going to change all this to free time while we are here, though. There we go. There you go. So we now have... All of this is free time. We'll change that later. And these guys are on break, as you can see. So if you mouse over the guards now, you can actually see... like when they're on break. So they have a break time at 9 AM and 9 PM. So they have 2 breaks, and it says 66 minutes left. So I'm guessing they have 2 90-minute breaks throughout the day. They still don't go home and come back or anything like that. You don't have a 3-shift system or anything that complicated. I don't know where this is. The staff stuff. You know what? It'll probably be in policy. It'll probably be in prison policy, so I'll research that. So what will happen is that these will be on break and they'll sit around in the guard room. And obviously if they want to sit, then they will get a... They'll be their environment need and rest need will be fulfilled. Safety need as well. Bladder and bowels, same sort of thing. If you have a toilet in here, they won't use prisoner toilets. They will use staff-only toilets. So we need to do that. We need to get things like these staff-only toilets in, because if we don't, it means that they simply will not be able to go to the loo, and that's all bad. So we're going to put 2 loos in, We could put 3 loos in, actually. 3 loos with some little entrance ways there. Obviously, I've staggered them, and that's because I'm going to put some brick wall in here, like so. So you come down, past the toilets, and then you actually go to the actual staff room area. So you've got a wide sofa, which we can put in here. We'll put a couple of wide sofas in. We'll put a, say, I don't know, a radio between them, because that will, again, fulfill things like recreation need and such. We'll also go for, we could have a large television in the corner, but I think we'll have a couple of drinks machines, or at least 1 drinks machines to get this all sorted. And then that will be a legitimate area. So we'll go for a large pipe as well, and we want to run a large pipe. Where do we want to run a large pipe? We want to run a large pipe probably close to this, so it's going to be pretty much out and along, and then over to this, because this is where we'll have the showers, you see. Won't really run it any further than that because I don't see any need, and then I'll do that and connect it up, knowing that we'll have showers along here as well. So actually we're using the pipe network. So these are on break, as you can see. They're having a little wander around. We now have deployment, so I can go to staff only and change all of these to staff only, and immediately you can see that changes to staff canteen, which is what we wanted. So we want this is staff only, all these are staff only. Maybe not the kitchen, we might have people working in the kitchen, but for now, we're okay. That's staff only, so they have to go through. There's also this access only, right? Which, what that means is it goes on top of any other room, and it means that if you've got a staff only area, right, it means that anyone can go through it as long as they're being escorted. So if this kitchen and stuff staff only, a guard might be, well, a guard can escort a prisoner through it. There's no problem there. However, there's also times when you might have them open and share like that. So if you've got someone working in the kitchen and you want people to come through here, then there's no problem. But imagine getting an intake of, say, 50 prisoners, and for some reason they decide that they are just going to take them through the kitchen and through this area here. They're just going to walk them through because it is technically the shortest route. You don't want that. You don't want 50 new prisoners stampeding through the kitchen because it just doesn't make sense at all, which is why access only is in there. And access only says, if I mouse over it, people will try to avoid access only zones if possible, preferring to take other routes around your prison. So if they want to say go to the kitchen, they will happily go through this area because they have to go through it. However, if they wanted to take someone to the canteen that was here, they will avoid it because there is another way to go, which I think is quite nice. Not bad at all. Right, so these guys are on not on break now. They're going to crack on. However, as you can see, the staff canteen is still flashing. It does need benches and it does need tables. So we'll sort that out. And we'll put benches and tables. Like that. And we will put, because we can, could put a TV, I think, but not really going to work out, I don't think. We'll probably put a radio in the corners like that as well, so they can listen to the radio. Now, the problem is that, you know, I've always neglected the ground and stuff, so it's a bit dirty and stuff, which I should really resolve that by going to staff and trying to hire someone that I can't actually hire because I haven't unlocked it yet, so I'm actually going to research maintenance, and we'll hire a maintenance person. Hang on. We'll go for rooms, office. Put both these off. Actually, why am I doing that? I don't need to do that. I just need to go to clone 1 and 2. Like I said, I don't use the clone tool as much as I should. So there we go. We've got the offers put in, and then obviously we'll hire someone to clean things up, which gets me back onto my original point of I tend to neglect the dirt around the prison, which now it always had a detrimental effect to the prisoners, but also for the staff as well. So they will have environment needs. 3 staff have this need. You can see it's increasing there. Now the stuff that comes into the prison for the guards to eat is not, well, it's not the gruel and slop that the prisoners get cooked for them. It is things like apples and oranges and bananas and like little sandwiches, triangle shaped naturally, and packet of crisps and things like that. And they will sit down and eat all that, because obviously you don't know what the prisoners are putting in if they've got a vendetta or something, so it's a bit dodgy, isn't it? Right. So there's all that sorted. Excellent. We have another grant to get, so we can go for Reform through education initiative or long-term investment. And I think the long-term investment is probably the way to go. So we have 10 grand to finish off our basic detention centre, which should be quite an easy task, actually. We should be able to get it done. Over to staff, we'll go to cook, 1, 2, and there we go. There's that grant done. We'll go to foundation, building brick, and then we'll shove in this bit here. And it does require an entrance, so what I'll do is simply place, I don't know, a large jail door, or a jail door maybe. Some people have said that we should have double jail doors on these entranceways here. I actually agree with you, so I might do that. Might go ahead and change that. So we'll put this as our shower, and we also need a holding cell, which we will happily place at this corner here as well. There we go. And this one will have... Hang on, once this is done, yeah, that is done, I will dismantle that now. Saving myself some money by reusing the same jail door to make this actually generate the foundations. And then we'll go over to our brick wall, put a brick wall in there, brick wall in there. We'll go to our materials, remove walls and demolish a little bit of wall there. Over to rooms and type in shower. And then obviously we're going to place the shower like so, and then cancel that little section off. You don't need to, it's just something I always go ahead and do because it just makes sense. And then we'll have the shower heads go along here, and then along this wall as well. And then I don't have to. I put benches in, and I don't know why, because they don't do anything in the game. I don't think people sit on this. They don't sit in the shower. Also, I tend to allow the area to be flooded. Like, I have this entire area, so it's, yeah, whatever, just get it flooded. I don't really care. It's just something I do. I don't know why. Like, if you put the... Actually, I do know why. I've a thought there. Yeah, originally, these drains, they didn't work as you would expect. Originally, when they came out back in the day, if water goes on top of them, they didn't soak up the water. What they would do is any water like travelling into them, they would soak up. So it means that water would flood into this entire shower and then would not be able to go out here. That's what they would do. But now they do work if water goes directly on top of them to stop the propagation of it as well. So that's why I always place it here and rather not underneath the showers. So we might place them underneath the showers, but that's a future me thing because it's quite a task. So that's a bit of money as well that we really don't need to spend. Right, over to holding cell, and we'll place said holding cell. We're going to go over to a bench and probably put a bench either side, and then we'll probably put a toilet in 1, 2, 3 toilets like so. Over to the brick walls, and then put a couple of brick walls in, and then finally some doors. Actually, we don't want doors. Yeah, we do want... No, we don't want doors. We want to be able to make sure we know what the prisoner's doing. I was going to say we want to make sure we can see the prisoners having a crap, but we don't want that. We just want to make sure it's secure, and that's probably the most secure way we can do it. Let's just run some electrical cable in here, and technically... no, we'll just do that. We'll do it like that. That'll connect all that up. Right, and there's the other grant done. So we now got cell block A, which we can get, which gives us a nice chunk of money. So raise our prisoner capacity to 50. We've got the short and long-term investment on the go. We've also probably got staff foreman. We can place said foreman. We'll go to his office, and that means we can also research things like groundskeeping, cleaning, and that costs a lot of money, but I think it is worth it, so I'm going to go for that. And the reason I think it's worth it is because we will get access to both the cleaner and the janitor and the groundskeeper, and then there's a grant which we can also get called prison maintenance. So I think that's worth it because you need to hire at least 2 janitors and 1 gardener. So if we don't have that researched, then we won't be able to do it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is have a quick look at policy, and yes, there we go. We'll pause it for a second, and I'll just explain what you're looking at. Now, the standard stuff here, you're probably aware what it is: destruction, escape attempt. You've seen this before, right? It's just what we think what they're gonna do with what sort of things the prisoners get if they break the rules of the prison. So if they break something like a table, that's destruction, so they get locked down. If they are found with weapons, they get solitary for 2 hours. You understand that. Same as the meal quality and variety. That's all standard stuff. But this new stuff down here, there was always parole cut off, and we'll put that down to about, say, I would say 20%. We'll be a bit more lenient than perhaps we normally are in the other series. And then we've got staff breaks. So we've got staff break length 90 minutes, and you've got number of staff breaks too. So essentially every 2, well, what it does is it randomly splits the number of breaks throughout the day. So if you have 2, that's 1 every 12 hours. If you have 3, that's 1 every, 8 hours? Something like that, yeah. And it means that when they go for a break, they will go to the staff room or they will go to the canteen and essentially take care of their needs. So that's what they'll do. And so this guy here is break time, 9 and 9. They're not doing anything. They're just hanging around the break area. But when they have their break, they'll be able to do whatever they want and fulfill their needs. Like this guy is on break, look. So you can see he's got needs now. He's got a food need and he's got a very high environment need. So you can see that now on the guards, right? So that guy's now picked up an apple, an orange, and a banana, eating very healthily. And it looks like he's using the banana to, I don't know, maybe he's like banana phoning it. No, you can see, look, he's getting his food and comfort needs all sorted. Excellent. So you could change it to, say, I don't know, number of staff breaks 3, but only 60 minutes. Depends how you want to do it, and it'll evenly split it throughout the prison. So it means that you'll get, how do I want to run electrical cable? Probably run electrical cable like that, probably. Yeah, that's fine. So yes, what'll happen is that they'll take care of their needs, and it'll randomly split it throughout the days, so not all of your guards will go on the break at the exact same time. That obviously would be silly. They will split it randomly. And it matters a lot because depending on your guards' needs, if they're not fulfilled, then they start doing a sloppy job, which is something I didn't explain in the last episode, which is why I'm going through it now and taking the time to do so. And if they do a sloppy job, then it means the prison could be worse. Like, for example, they could go up to a prisoner and search them. And if that prisoner's got a shank on them or some sort of weapon or digging tool, if the prisoners, if the guard's pissed off and just not very, hasn't have their needs met, they might not find it. They just might not find whatever it is that they're looking for or searching that prisoner for. Maybe even if they do find it, they'll just take money off them and take a bribe instead and leave them with whatever they've got, whatever contraband they have. So that's a real big problem. So they'll go slower, they'll walk around slower, they won't be as efficient. So it's a fairly big change to the game, and quite a good one as well. I don't know whether it's going to apply to the workmen. I would like it to be applied to the workmen as well as the cooks, because that means if you don't look after the cooks, they would cook less. The food quality would go down, which is quite good. That would be a nice addition. So you have to look after your cooks and your janitors, because they might not do a good enough job and they might half-ass polish the floor and sweep it up, so you've got leaves and stuff outside or whatever. That would be a nice addition. Workmen would move slower and build not as good. Maybe they would maybe they could trigger events. Maybe if they're placing pipes and if they have not been looked after at all, they could spring a water leak while doing it. All of this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of what they can do. Whether or not they decide to go that route, whether or not they put more stuff in, I don't know. I really hope they do. I really hope Introversion progress on and add it to the rest of the staff and have all these things. Like I say, it'll be really good watching workmen trying to place electrical cables, and if they're really pissed off and really tired and have their needs not met, they could just electrocute stuff and, perhaps kill people around them and stuff. It would be a really interesting thing to see. They could do a wall, and while building the wall, they could knock a bit down and trigger escapes and stuff. It would be a great thing to add. It would be a really good thing, I think. Who knows? I'm being a bit armchair designer here. Anyway, going to leave it there, because we've cracked on quite nicely. Next episode, we're going to get this cell block up and running and get some prisoners, because we can. As always, comments in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.